So I want to talk about something I saw in Total Biscuit's subreddit today. I don't actually watch a lot of his videos, but I do respect him as a video maker. And this is the deck I'm using while I do it. Notice the build is kind of, it's very cheap. Very cheap and a lot of draw and a lot of stuff that helps each other. You'd be surprised at how not terrible this deck is. It's definitely not great, it's no Miracle Rogue, but it's pretty fun to play. So what I want to talk about today is quitters. Sounds like a bad thing, but apparently I am in the minority here. Reading through the thread, it would appear as though Total Biscuit, as well as a good portion of the community of Hearthstone players, all seem to believe that it's in good faith, it's good practice to leave the game once you are low on health. Once you know the enemy has lethal damage, then you're just supposed to leave, instead of playing out your turn. And that's so dumb to me on so many levels. Like, you can have your preferences. That's fine. I mean, if you know you're about to win and the other person's taking forever to take their last turn, then that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different frustrating thing, especially when you know they just like walk away from the computer after having quit. Like, that's basically just a troll, and I have, you know, something wrong with that like anyone else. But the issue here is basically, it seems to be a belief that once people know for a fact that they're going to lose, they should just throw down all of their cards, give up the game, and then walk away just like that because the winner is tired of wasting their time on you. It's such a conceited, egotistical view of thinking, it drives me insane. Like, does it really bother you that much that the other person just wants to play the game? That seems so dumb to me. And I really believe I'm in the minority here, because a lot of people just seem to agree, and it was even people that were saying like, yeah, I'm not a fan of Total Biscuit, I don't watch his videos, but no, I definitely agree with this, and I read through the thread, and that was it, time and time and time again. That was what everybody seemed to believe. Now, my main issue with that is, frankly, I like killing the other player. I like getting the last blow in. I like seeing how much negative damage that I can do to them. I know it doesn't mean anything, really, but it's still fun for me. I mean, I don't know if anyone else out there does it. Every time an enemy has, 4 health, and I have one unit that does 12 damage and a unit that does 3, I always hit him with the 3 first, and then the 12, just to get him to -11, just as a quick little, a little jab, like, yes, I beat you. And whether or not they take their time on the last turn, it always just irks me, just the littlest bit, to know that they left when I should have gotten the satisfaction of that killing blow. Now, there's other times when it's obviously not a big deal, and there's other situations where I can see why they would, like exceptions. Like, for example, someone has quests, and they want to finish those out. That, to me, seems like a perfectly logical reason to want to keep playing, even though you're going to get lethal. Or if you've had a good back and forth with someone, and you want to see it through all the way to the end, that seems like a very good reason to want to get lethal. But just to be of the mindset that I think the other person should leave as soon as they know they're going to quit because my 30 seconds are so precious, seems to me like it is just a very elitist viewpoint. And I have so many issues with elitism in video games, it drives me nuts. It's part of the whole reason I've never enjoyed Dota or League of Legends or whatever that new one is, Heroes of the Storm. That's one of the MOBAs I'm talking about, right? I think it is. Because I've never played it, because I stay miles and miles and miles away from those things, because ever since the days of Dota in freaking Warcraft 2, it's always bothered me. They've always bothered me, having people be like, oh, what, you don't have the game downloaded already? We'll just kick you out of the lobby. No, deal with it. And I understand how frustrating it can be to have a game that noobs are joining and it ruins the game. But I just don't see why it justifies being an asshole to new members that want to possibly join your community. And I see so many intersects with that and the Hearthstone community at large that it just sort of bothers me. There's so many people. I guess it's just human nature to be like, oh, you're terrible, you're doing this wrong, like, get out, like, you don't deserve to upload videos. You don't deserve to play video games, is what that sounds like to me. And it sounds so dumb. And in Hearthstone, I can think of, like, if you build a deck that's not ideal, then people will say that about you. It's a really unfortunate part of this community. What I like to do is build decks. And guess what? 90% of the time, they're gonna suck. They're gonna be really god-awful, just terrible decks. But I like to build them because that's the fun of giving me all these fancy cards that I have at my disposal, so I can build them in new and interesting ways. Instead, you get people who tend to be of the belief that if you don't have the perfect deck in any game, then you shouldn't be playing. That seems so dumb to me. It seems so... what did he just hammer a breath? Huh. He hit my little Murloc. That was a silly choice. Anyways, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, try to be more accepting of stupid things in communities if you can. Because, to me, it speaks poorly of the community as a whole. And look at this. I've got decks like this. It's obviously not gonna be getting down to rank 5 every single time. This deck is designed to have all 1 and 2 cost units and just own the board early and stay in control. And yeah, I probably lose about 40% of my games, but the thing is, I'm having fun. So I don't see where the issue is here. And I like to play against other people with silly decks. I played against some guy who had all Pandorins. Not all, but he had like every single one that was... He had a Pandarin Murloc deck, and it was god-awful. But it was just hilarious because the styles were so different. And look, perfect example. He leaves. That upsets me. I could have killed him in, you know, 5 seconds. All I had to do was smack him with my taunt guy, and then kill him with my little spell damage bonus down there to my other little 2-1 guy. But now I don't get the satisfaction of killing him. And that bothers me. That's just my 2 cents.